Yeah, I'm going in now. We're going to start in a minute. So keep the noise down. Hi. Hey, we're on. But, oh my God. Oh. Right. Hello. Welcome along to the next episode of the VO Discovery. Yes, indeed. My name is Richard Emmett, and you are going to have a treat today. Oh, yes, it's going to be very magical. You're going to really enjoy it. It is another interview with another newbie, but a very talented newbie. In fact, we're all very talented. Come on. We just haven't been discovered yet. Hence, VO Discovery. So, today I have this beautiful lady, and she is going to be sharing her story of how she found out about voiceover and what her story is in how she's going to break out into the industry. And I really hope you enjoy this, and please do subscribe, hit the like, and if you're watching this on a podcast, listening on a podcast, then make sure you like it and do all that good stuff. So, without further ado, let's move on. As you can tell, I am very prepared. You could have bloody told me. Okay, so here she is. Karen Esposito, ladies and gentlemen.
Hi there, Richard. How are you?
Hiya, Karen. I'm very well, thank you. And
oh, it's nice to see you.
Nice to see you too. It's been a while, hasn't it?
It has been a while. I think it was on the ferry, wasn't it, at the One Voice conference we met?
That's right.
Going over the water.
That's right. Yeah. And that seems like quite a while ago now. But it's what 3 weeks ago? 3 or 4 weeks ago now?
Is that all?
Is that all?
That's gone quickly.
It has, isn't it? Yeah, but that was great. We've, we met a lot of different voiceovers at that conference and got really pumped up. And I know as a result of doing that conference, or at least being at that conference, we met, we met each other. I met Simon, who I interviewed recently, and a few other guys that I'm going to interview. And we've all set up a little group, haven't we?
We certainly have. Am I allowed to say the name?
Yes, you are allowed to say the name. Well, in fact, it started off being the VO work group, right? VO working group was the original name. And then we started talking to each other and messing around. And then eventually this new name came up, which is what, Karen? Tell everybody.
Which is, well, we thought we kept talking about it being like a boarding school, a wonderful boarding school for with a big mix of voiceover artists there. So we started talking about Hogwarts. And then somebody came up with the brilliant idea of Vogwarts instead. So let's put VO at the front and let's have it as Vogwarts. And that stuck. So that's our WhatsApp group. And it's been so useful so far already, even in just a few short weeks. So thank you again, Richard, for sorting that out.
Well, that's all right. I mean, I can't take all the credit. I think it was Alex's idea originally to get the WhatsApp group together. But then it takes, individuals in the group to just bounce things around, get things going, so I do my bit, and CP did his bit. He got the whole Discord group thing going, which is amazing.
Techno wizard.
Yeah, you see all these different skills coming together and making it work, and
you do. It's been such a melting pot already, hasn't it, of ideas fizzing around, which is fantastic.
Yes, it has. And I'll tell you what, before we get stuck into the interview, I know that you did create a beautiful Hogwarts song. How would you like to do that first, just to give the listeners and the viewers something to be entertained with before we start?
Well, I shall let the viewers decide on the beautiful or not. It was me messing around. Excuse the clunk. A few clunks. There's not much room in here. So I'm going to put my foot up as well. Ooh.
I put your foot up, love.
I know. If you fall over, it's me kicking you over, so I apologise in advance for any injury.
I'm ready. Not sue. I got my shin pads on.
Lovely jubbly. Okay, so
take it away, Karen, with the Hogwarts song.
Thank you very much indeed. Welcome to our secret lair, voiceovers extraordinaire. Let's conjure up some vocal flair. Hogwarts here for you. No polyjuice potion here, that's true, but gravy, brains and fun for you. Hobbling and bubbling in demo stew, Hogwarts here for you. Climb inside our padded booth, no distortion, silky smooth. Troll and dragon free forsooth, Hogwarts here for you. So if you're after voicey fun, gaming, promo, narration, fantastically magical, there's only one, Hogwarts here for you. We'll be there on cue, Hogwarts here for you.
Wow,
There you
brilliant. Fantastic. That's brilliant. That is our theme tune for Hogwarts.
This is it, animation to follow.
Indeed. And then also we're going to do a little story for it as well, right?
Oh yeah, I'm
think-
so excited about that.
Yeah. One of our fellow Vogwaters, Debs, is writing a script for us to do. So we'll do that on Discord. That'll be fun. And if any of you guys watching this want to become part of our group, this is not exclusive. You're more than welcome to join in. So please do get in touch, and we'll get you involved as well. This is all about voiceovers that's starting, getting together and helping each other out.
Most definitely, and the talent that's there is just unbelievable. I mean, that script it was put together so quickly. She's so very talented, and there's a lot of talent out there just waiting to emerge.
That's right. We are it. We are the emergence.
There's a new song in there.
Yes. Okay, so tell us, I noticed there's a bit of an accent, so tell us where you're from.
I'm originally from Manchester, and I've lived in the north most of my life, really. A brief spell away in Abu Dhabi, in the Emirates, and then back again in my days as a musician in years gone by. I used to play saxophone and sing in a band and do the hotels over there. So that was my I suppose very brief years of performance before I became a speech and language therapist.
Oh wow.
And yeah, which I still very much love. I beelined for a specialism, my specialism being laryngeal disorders or voice disorders, anything to do with the larynx. So that's what I do for my day job, and I have done for a good few many years. So playing with voices, fixing voices, exploring voices has been my passion for a long time.
Brilliant. Well, I didn't know, and the fact that you spent all this time doing the vocal knowledge and teaching as well, so that could also become very useful for the group. Maybe if any of us have like problems here and there,
Yeah.
Karen's the go-to.
Absolutely. Just get in touch,
Yeah.
privately if you like, if you don't want to talk to everybody else. But yes, very
Nice
happy
one.
to share that.
Wow, brilliant. You see how all these different skills come together and we help each other out.
That's
I
it.
like it. So how did you find out about voiceover being a career that you could get into?
Well, early in my life, my dream was to be an actor, and I wasn't brave enough, really. Bottom line,
Understand?
so I did what I could to explore and enjoy voice and music in between, and then lockdown came, and thank you, pandemic, for this, really, because it gave me. I was just exploring on the internet different things to do with voices and stumbled over Gravy for the Brain. And at first it seemed too good to be true, and it wasn't, and it's fantastic. And I've been training myself with Gravy for the Brain and the webinars and everything to do with Gravy for the Brain, fantastic resource to go for, since late last year. And I started to believe it might actually be possible for me to do this as a career. So for me, the light came on. My brain started to fizz, and I started to get very excited about looking at this as a reality, a dream come true. So this is what I'm aiming for in the near future to get launched. At the moment, I'm still in practice stages. I've just started work with a coach as well to get me where I need to be going in the right direction, because I think it's very, very important that you are ready before you do start. Because once you've started, whatever you put out there is always going to be there. And that's in my mind as well. So I want to be ready. I want to do this right. But I can't wait to get started.
Yeah, yeah. I think that's the correct approach as well. You've found somewhere, a resource where you can get information about the business. And I know Gravy for the Brain do a lot of things on the marketing, the business
Yeah.
side of things, the recording, and also obviously the talent side, which are very good. I've obviously done it myself as well. But then also getting a coach, I think, is key too. And how have you found that so far? Has the coach been able to give you a bit more than what you could give yourself, do you find, or not?
It's phenomenal. I suppose it feels a little bit like being in lockdown for a long time and then being able to run out into a field and spin round in a circle, really, because it's just that freedom, that imagined reality is very different to real reality. And
Yeah,
what we've been doing effectively is training ourselves, haven't we, in isolation, and hopefully getting as far as we can, but directing yourself when you're absolutely new to this is very challenging. And I think I've only had the one session so far, but just that, having an expert with tons of experience directing you and pointing you in the right direction, making tweaks here and there, and reassuring you that you're not completely on the wrong path, but it feels like you can explore more of yourself with that feedback, to be able to bounce it off somebody else immediately. I think that's it is like gold dust. We talk about gold dust a lot, don't we? But there are many gold nuggets in here that we can get from the
yeah,
training, really. And you mentioned marketing and editing, recording. All of this has been a very, very steep learning curve for me, because I've done nothing like this before at
right.
all. And that's what I've found very, very useful, very tough, but very useful and fascinating. And you can probably see what's behind you here. This is my improvised booth
Yeah, well, it
where
works.
I work.
Yeah. I was going to go into that as well a little bit, in terms of, when you got started, obviously you didn't have a mic, I guess, and you didn't have your booth there and stuff. And so how did you research what you needed, and what kind of um, budget did you have to get started, and how did you find out about the stuff that you needed?
Very good question. I mean, luckily the year before I got into playing music again after a long hiatus. So for
Right.
my birthday, I was bought a Scarlett 212.
Ooh.
And I already had a Neumann condenser mic from stage use.
Ah,
So it wasn't ideal, but I thought, well, it's a mic. Let's go with it now.
mm,
So I had that, and I saved and scrimped and saved again to get myself a laptop just for use. And I did lots of reading about it, lots of research on Gravy for the Brain and elsewhere on the internet, and talked to other people who were already doing the job, and found out what would work for me, really. So my little Scarlett is phenomenal. I have a MacBook here. I've always been a PC user, so very strange using a
yeah, I bet
Mac.
it
I've
is. I
got
bet it
used to
is. I haven't made that transition yet to a MacBook.
Yeah, nothing's in the right
It's
place.
No, it's like a whole new kettle of fish, isn't it?
It is.
I
I
guess.
am
I mean,
I
I don't
am
know. I
learning
haven't
to
got
love
one,
it.
but sorry.
I am learning to love it. I am. And I use Adobe Audition. So I watched a lot of
Right.
Rob B on Gravy for the Brains
Yeah.
webinars about this, and looked into the different platforms. And Adobe Audition suits me because I'm not very technical in that way, really. And it's very intuitive, and I've found that it's fun to explore, and it works for me
Mm.
already. So I had the basics there, but then I realised that I was just not getting where I wanted to as far as the sound was concerned. I was doing too much fiddling about. Scrimped and saved again, got myself another mic, so a Sennheiser Mark IV. Other mics
Right.
are available. But this one, because it's a studio mic, instantly my noise floor went up, and I thought, oh no. But then it was because I had so much more room to play with, and it was
Right.
right. So it made a
Yeah.
huge difference to me again. So I think equipment is absolutely key. If you are going to set yourself up in your own booth, which is very much recommended these days, isn't it?
Yeah.
Think about your equipment and get what you feel will work, but what is as much as you can possibly afford. It's not easy in the beginning because money's not growing on trees, is it?
No, it's not, and it's very easy to spend money as well, But yeah, you don't necessarily have to. But then again, if you do want to get work and get paid proper uh, fees for the work, then you do need to have a decent quality of recording sound. I think, I mean, I've been onto some casting websites, and they do actually put the auditions on the site, and you can listen back to them. And some of them, the talent is fine, but the recording is terrible.
Yeah.
You can hear the buses in the background, you can hear all kinds of noises and hissing and stuff. And you're like, guys, you're not going to get booked with that noise.
No.
And it's a shame because the talent is good.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's definitely
It's
worth.
crucial, isn't it? It's absolutely crucial, and that's one of the things I meant about being ready. Make sure
Yeah,
you're ready. Run it past someone who's experienced in this, and make sure that they can help you be ready as well.
exactly. Yeah. And you mentioned a bit earlier as well about the feedback that you get from your coach, which gives you a bit more room to think with how you can improve yourself. And I just wanted to tell the viewers and the listeners, because I don't know if you know, but this is called an all cast. It's a new phrase that I coined because it goes out on YouTube as a video. It's also a podcast. So I came up with all cast.
Love it.
So we'll see how that spreads, if at all. And yeah, so last night there was a group workout that was set up by a guy called Brad Shaw, and this is fantastic. He gets a well-known, I would say, celebrity from the industry,
Well, she is a celebrity,
who comes
definitely.
in and does free coaching for an hour and a half,
Yeah.
and you get put into breakout rooms, and you can take any script that you're currently working on, and then you kind of give each other feedback, and then the coach pops into the room for 5 minutes and will coach whoever's doing the script at the time. And I found it really, really good because you're getting not only feedback from other people about how you sound and how you could adjust yourself, but then also you give feedback too to those
Yeah.
people.
Yeah.
And it really does. I think the more involved you can get with the people of the VO industry and do this kind of interaction, then I think the more you'll learn. I think you'll speed up the process.
I completely agree with that. And in addition, I would recommend it because everybody is so generous and so
Yeah.
kind and so friendly. I have been just blown over by the attitudes of everybody. Even the most celebrated and well-known voiceovers are happy to sit down and share their knowledge and just have a chat to you and guide you on your way. I've been very pleasantly surprised by that, actually. I don't know how you feel, Richard.
Oh yeah, totally the same. Yeah, they've been very accommodating and very generous with their knowledge. And I mean, even the Gravy for the Brain guys, there's so much material on there given out by Peter and Hugh.
Yeah.
Plus, I mean, there's so many other people that give out information on there as well. I mean, Peter and Hugh are not only it. There's, Tanya Rich gives out information. There's JC Roberts and his marketing,
There
and
is. And there's Rob B and his technical
JMC.
wizardry again.
Sorry?
Yeah. Yeah, Rob B and his technical magic.
Rob B.I. Yeah, it's amazing, and it is a great community as well. And you get to start to know people in the industry, and you get invited to all these other training sessions. And we're also going to have them as well, I think, in our Vogwarts group. We're going to have group reads, and we can give each other feedback. And also going to try and get some kind of coach to come in as well and help us out.
That
That'd be
sounds
good, wouldn't
good.
it?
That
Yeah.
sounds really good. Really good.
Yeah. Yes. So what's
In addition to
your...
that, Richard, sorry, I was just going to say, because it just popped in my mind when you were talking about other things on Gravy for the Brain, because, again, that's something perhaps the pandemic has helped us with, is getting in touch with people across the pond, all over the world. So you find yourself at 1 o'clock in the morning, don't you, bleary-eyed, but logging onto a webinar session from America or Australia.
Yeah.
I did one with Toby Ricketts, a read through recently, and it's just fabulous to be able to tap into that resource. Granted, at that time in the morning, you don't. You're not your most awake, really. But any time of the
No.
day, you can watch them over again, so they are recorded on Gravy for the Brain as well. So, just learn, learn, learn.
Totally, totally. I mean, uh, I have a day job as well, so I'm out at work during the day, but then, during the evenings and weekends, I'm like fully on it,
Yeah.
webinars, training sessions, coaching sessions, practicing. And I think eventually that will change a little bit to include some marketing, because one has to
Yes.
get some work as well.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
what do you have a, do you have a plan at the moment as to how you're approaching your entry into the business?
I do I have a master plan. Yes, I've been doing
What
all of the
is that plan?
practice. I do have many plans. Yeah, I've been practicing, practicing, practicing just as you have, and it's a beautiful thing when you close the door of your booth and you enter this world, and time just flies. I've even enjoyed the marketing training, the editing training, but just practicing, playing with your voice, seeing what it can do. So I've been doing practice, practice, practice. Number one.
Mm,
My plan is with the coach that I am working with, help her guide me in the way in which she'll be able to advise me on what I will be best at. So have a look at genres and maybe be specific about genres to go for. Don't try and be jack of all trades, because there are very few people that can excel at that. And I think particularly in the beginning. So I think my plan, Jay Roberts has a lot of advice on this on his webinars, but that stuck with me because it made things more possible, because I thought to myself, if you can specialise in the beginning, try a genre. If that doesn't work for you, let's move on and try and target the next genre, and let's see what happens. And I'm going to use LinkedIn quite a lot, I
mm,
think, in the beginning, especially while I'm building my website up, and building up my portfolio, jobs I start to amass the money to get professional reels done.
mm.
But in the meantime, practice recording as much as I can myself, and
Yeah,
see what can be done there as well,
excellent.
with the advice of my coach. But then I think probably I'm going to start contacting local charities, see if I can do some work for them for free, to benefit them and to benefit me as well, to get some practice in there and also some clients under my belt as well.
Yeah, sounds like a great plan.
Hopefully.
And I just want to share a nugget of knowledge. Actually, I was watching a show the other day called Undercover Billionaires. I don't know if you've heard of it or
Ooh,
seen it.
no.
And this particular show has Grant Cardone on it, and he's a well-known billionaire who's made his money through the property markets. And he took on this challenge where he was given $100. His identity was taken away. He was given an old truck and basically sent to a town that he'd never been to before. And the goal is within 90 days, he has to make a business that's valued over $1 million.
Oh, 90
And
days.
in 90 days, with $100 in his pocket. And within the first week, he hadn't spent any of his $100, but he'd managed to get accommodation, free food, and he also managed to get a job, kind of a job, not really a job, but he's like helping somebody. But my point is that he went to work for somebody to help promote their business, to help that person get more customers and make more money. And he didn't ask for any money. And he said, if you want to make it, you don't go for the money, you go for the opportunity. And that's what I think you're saying there, is when you're going for the charity work, is that you're creating opportunities, you're helping people in your local community,
Yeah,
and that in itself can also generate opportunity. And I
yeah,
think it's a great way to start.
yeah.
I think I'll start doing more of that myself as well, because there are a lot of local businesses in any area you live, unless you live in the middle of Australia on a diamond mining colony, you know, then you might be a bit screwed. But the likes of you and I who live in suburban or urban areas, we've got the opportunity to help a local business in
Yeah,
some way, or a local charity.
yeah. And looking back at myself in 10 years' time, I'm hoping that I keep that going, really, because I think it is important. Because we
Yeah,
know the good work that can be done with VO. Not just the money making, but, helping people grow, helping inform people, making messages clearer, opening up things to people as well. And that's important to me.
yeah.
Obviously, I want to make some money as well. That would be nice.
All right.
I could maybe
Might as well.
replace my duvets then.
Yeah. What would you get? A thicker duvet or a?
Maybe a 10 tog instead of a 4. Not sure.
Yeah, yeah, and a bit of a different pattern, perhaps.
It's no pattern. Maybe
Layering.
I'll get some duvet covers first.
Be a start. You know,
Yeah, yeah, why
one
not?
step at a time. Love, one step at a time.
I'll get them printed in Vogwarts with the emblem.
Yeah,
See how
good
this brand
idea.
is growing.
Indeed, this whole thing could take off into becoming maybe, maybe eventually we'll have an actual physical school called Vogwarts.
Well,
And
you could start looking on Rightmove for
you know,
available castles, maybe.
yeah. Well, my mother's watching a lot of YouTube videos on the chateaus in France that are being renovated. So maybe we
Oh,
could get one of them.
oh, your mother can be our manager, our
Yeah.
estate agent. There you go.
Yeah, that's
Sorted.
it. She could be the estate agent. Good idea. And then we got to
We can
fill
go
it.
and squat to start with.
Yeah, the VO squatters.
Ooh, yes.
Yes, indeed. Sounds like an idea.
Oh, yeah.
But that's the beauty of this group, isn't it? We get good ideas or stupid ideas, and just run with it and see where it goes.
Oh, yes, definitely.
Yes. So, if you could give a piece of advice to a newbie who's looking at getting into voiceover, and they've somehow come across this allcast, what would you say to that person in order to get them off the ground?
I would say to them, believe it is possible. You need to find out what you can do. Don't launch yourself straight away, because I know this does happen. Don't immediately Google agents, pay-to-play sites, etc., and try to launch yourself that way. Make sure you've got the equipment in place, you are ready to go with your talent, and you have some expert advice. Do some training, practice, 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 practice. That's the thing to remember.
Top
Lots
advice.
in there, actually, not just one.
Quite a bit. You see, you've learned a lot already.
Mm, yeah.
And I would to throw in my two pence worth. I mean, both of us are based in England. I actually found it quite difficult originally to find an English coach. I found it very easy to find American coaches.
Mm,
And while I think American coaches are great, I think they will coach you to work in the American markets, which is something that we would want to break into eventually for sure. But for me personally, I wanted to find an English coach, and
mm,
eventually, I found, I've managed to find a few now, but mostly through kind of word of mouth, really.
mm.
So again, if anybody also wants to go down the English coach route, you can always get in contact with us, and we'll point you in the direction of who we know.
Mm.
And as you get more involved in the group or in the voiceover community, you might find other coaches that are around
Yeah.
that you could
Yeah.
explore too. Because I think coaches can be quite a personal thing. You might get on with some, you might not get on with others.
It's a very personal thing,
So
very personal. I agree with you as well, because although coaches from other countries are, there's some marvelous ones out there, really top notch, and you are so tempted to get in touch with them, but then you realise the more you go into it, the markets are different.
yeah,
They really are. When you think about medical narration, for example, we don't have the same setup as we do in America. So we're looking at our NHS as opposed to all private hospitals, with one very specific example, but things are different.
yeah,
So yeah, I would agree with you there, Richard, as well.
yeah, cool. And I know in America they pay very well for medical narrations. I think it's
Mhm.
different over here. I don't think they pay as well. And you can get paid actual fortunes doing medical
Yeah,
narrations in
yeah,
America.
yeah.
It really is. It really is. It's really quite tempting. I actually did a practice medical narration script with um, James Collins,
Yes,
and
did you do that one?
he
Yeah,
gave me the thumbs up. He said, "Oh yeah, you could have a feature in this."
yeah,
And I
yeah.
think the word that got it for me was dihydroartemism in piperaquine.
Oh, I know that one. I think I've got it just behind my sheet there.
Yeah,
But I think medical narration is one of those lovely niche areas that I've been, especially drawn to because of my NHS background, and it just
right,
feels comfortable for me.
right.
That kind of thing as well. Really, there are the genres that we are advised to go for, but within those genres are subgenres that you can really aim at as well. So medical
Yeah,
narration is one of those, and there are many more.
indeed. There's a vast
Mm,
array of different genres you can get into, and you just need to explore it, like you say.
yeah, yeah.
All right, Karen. Well, it's been fantastic talking to you. I really do appreciate you coming along and sharing your knowledge with us and your beautiful voice and guitar talent skills.
Well, thank you very much, Richard. It's lovely to see you, and hopefully we can share a cuppa and a slice of cake very soon.
That'd be nice. That'd be nice. I like a Victoria
Would you like
sponge.
that?
Aye,
Oh,
Victoria
Victoria
sponge,
Sponge, you
please.
like it classic.
Oh yes, yes, I do.
Sounds
I
good
look
to me.
forward to
Thank
that.
you for inviting me along anyway, Richard. It's been a pleasure.
Yeah, you're welcome. And I will see you anon in the Vogwarts community.
Absolutely. Vogwarts rules.
It rules. We need to come up with some kind of symbol, don't we? Handshake or
So,
something. Secret handshake.
no,
We'll
you
work on
think of
that.
something. We'll think of something
We'll think
together.
of something. We'll have a meeting.
Suggestions are invited.
Indeed. Okay. So going to say goodbye now. Thanks again. And I'll see you again soon. And viewers, if you like this video, then please do subscribe, give it a like, and tune in for the next one. See ya for now. Bye.
Bye.
Next time, can you tell us when the camera's rolling?